Hi, I wanted to walk you through going into the electronic library, into our online databases for Essay 3, where you'll be asked to look at 2 different articles on the same subject. You've already talked about the Sandy Hook school shooting in the assignment from last week. And this week I want you to do a comparison contrast that examines not necessarily an issue, but how 2 different articles deal with the issue. So first things first, when you go into our home page, where it says My RLC, and you go into the portal, right underneath Canvas, you'll see the link for the electronic library. If you click that, you'll be taken to the Learning Resource Center page, and the easiest way to find databases is to simply click that orange box that says A to Z Electronic Resources. Once you've gone in there, you'll see the list of resources that we have. These are all obviously really good databases to use in classes where you may have to do research writing. But for this assignment specifically, I want you to scroll to near the end and pick up SIRSKnowledge Source. This is a database that does some of the work for you. You'll notice when you go in that you'll see a box that will list trending pro-con leading issues. So if you're writing an essay about a fairly large issue that's debated regularly, you'll probably be able to find it in this section. So if you are in a different class and you have to write about something like prison reform, or if you scroll down, maybe something like airport security, or if it's a school issue like charter schools or homeschooling. So SIRS really allows you to find tons of information on many different topics that students are asked to write about. Specifically, what I want you to do for essay number 3 is to do a comparison and contrast of 2 different articles. And to do that, I'm going to stick with the topic of school shootings, since you've already written a little bit about the Sandy Hook school shooting. If you scroll down to the choice, which is school, family, and youth, you will be able to scroll through those choices and find under school safety, school shootings. Once you've gone into school shootings, you will notice that SIRS does this work for you. They give you essentially a question that could be turned into a thesis statement. So here, should teachers and other staff members be allowed to have concealed weapons at school? You might in a class be asked to write an essay where you tackle that as an argumentative topic. Excuse me while I cough at you. And that would be perfectly fine for an argumentative essay. For this essay, however, I want you to not argue the point. I want you to look at 2 different ways that writers have approached it. And it's pretty easy to find the articles, because what they do is they'll answer those questions that they list with viewpoint 1 and viewpoint 2, essentially a pro and con of the question above. Oh, excuse me. I hope I live through the rest of the screencast. So you'll notice in viewpoint 1 I have 3 articles, and it's under the header Arming School Employees Could Help Prevent Mass Shootings in Schools. So the way that SIRS sets up, I know these 3 articles are all going to deal with that issue. And they're also all going to have the argument that employees should be able to be armed. It's going to help. Now, viewpoint 2, I have having more guns on campus would make schools less safe. So obviously here I'm on the con side with 3 articles that are going to discuss to the point why we don't want more guns on campuses. So for your essay, what I want you to do is to choose one of the articles from viewpoint 1, choose one of the articles from viewpoint 2, And I want you to compare and contrast the articles themselves. I know you probably have an opinion on whether or not teachers should be armed in school systems. However, I don't want you to argue that point. That's not what we're doing here. What we're going to do is we're going to look at viewpoint 1 and viewpoint 2 and see really what they have to say in contrast to each other. When you go into an article, you will find a couple of different things. One in particular is in SIRS, you get the entire article. So you don't have to go and link to other places. This article, which appeared in USA Today, is all available right on your screen. What you do want to do is go in and really look at the language that this writer is using, maybe the examples that this writer is using. And what you will find is the language that he uses and the points that he's making are going to support the idea that arming teachers is the best thing to do. And when you are in here, something else that SIRS does for you is it gives you the citation information. And I've talked about that in a different place in the module in depth, but if you scroll all the way to the bottom of your article, you'll see a citation for MLA 8. And this is really nice because SIRS is going to tell you, here's exactly what you need for your citation. You don't have to go look it up. You don't have to go through many, many different links to get the information. So all you really have to do is copy that and paste it into your paper. And like I said, there'll be a little tutorial on that also in the module. So as you are going through these articles, you might want to read through all 6 of them just to get an idea of maybe which you think are the most, what's a good word? The most persuasive of the 3 articles for each point. And when you start looking at articles and how writers say things, then you'll be much easier, it will be much easier for you to then look at articles kind of with that discerning eye of what is the perception here? Is this person supporting? Is this person not supporting the issue? And how are they giving me the information? Because at some point that becomes very important as you become a critical thinker in academia. So that's how to use SIRS for this assignment. Look at the other modules for more information about citation and for the assignment itself. Thanks.